Hello, my name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I am a bass player and songwriter from Dayton, Ohio. On this episode, I am talking to Sarah Rudy, who plays guitar and who is the main songwriter for a band based out of West Virginia called Hello June. You're going to learn a lot of things in this particular conversation on the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. You're going to learn things like, what can you do on social media that is really helpful to musicians, but not even that difficult? Yeah, there's something that we'd like from you as musicians. Stick around and find out what that is. So, good evening, Sarah.
Hi, Mike.
Could you tell the listeners where you are talking to me from?
I am located in Albright, West Virginia. That is if you're in Morgantown, West Virginia, which is where the university is, it's towards towards Maryland, kind of.
Very nice. West Virginia, by the way, state of my birth.
No way.
That makes me kind of a mountaineer.
I feel like that makes you a mountaineer. Yeah, it counts.
Cool. So we have something in common other than being musicians.
Yeah.
Tell me about your project. You are the person behind Hello June.
I am, yes. I guess we've kind of been going since 2013. I think that's when I first started kind of playing out and started to release music around then. It is me and my partner Whit have been around since day one, kind of together working at this, but we've brought different people in and out through the years. But currently I just pulled on a guitarist that I'm super happy with named Brandon Wood, and a new drummer who took the place of Whit's drumming, which is strange but good. We have an all new lineup, and we're writing new songs currently. We're in the studio right now in Nashville. I mean, not right now, but we're currently recording an album. And I guess I don't know when that'll be out. I'm probably another year, so it'll be a while for that. But yeah, that's the run through our literal speed through our history.
Is this your first? I guess we could call it a band. Is this your first band?
Kind of. I did some work with a friend in college. I kind of helped her with writing some songs, but officially, yeah, I would say this is actually my first band.
Not a lot of people see the kind of success that you have with their first band.
Well, I would like to call it successful. It's it's something that we've put a lot of work into. So, I think that there've been multiple times where I probably could have just been like, well, this is too hard. I'm going to switch around and I'm going to do something else. And we just kind of stuck with it. So honestly, I guess, spending all the time and effort is probably the reason why we're still here.
Yeah. And I bet that was probably a very loaded statement on my part because success is subjective, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I should probably ask better, Sarah, what does being successful making music mean to you? What would be enough for you?
Well, I've asked myself this question a good bit because you're out talking to different people, and some people think that making money means success. Some people think that just playing music means success. I think for me, I would consider it successful if I could pay my band full time and play shows that we're happy with full time. And I guess at this point, I'm, working towards that. And I don't think that I've been able to say that in the past. So I think that's what success would mean at this point.
That's a fantastic answer. And if there's musicians listening right now, Sarah is very smart to ask herself that, because if you don't have that clearly fixed in your head, if you have issues, it'll be real easy to quit.
Yeah. It's a tough world out there, because you don't want to it's like a mix of running a business and also like being creative. Not that running a business doesn't take creativity and vice versa, but like it really does take like a long list of skills to kind of get good at and keep working on, and that's just something that I'm all the time trying to get better at, get more efficient at, and just know myself better through time. It's a really tough. I don't think people know like how much goes into like just like putting on a show or marketing for a show, or stupid stuff like that. That I'm not super into marketing, but like I have to be.
Yes.
So,
You're correct. People don't know. How about you explain it? Let's assume that someone is here listening to our conversation, because we hope people listen to us, right? And
yeah, sure.
we want to educate them on the kind of work that you have to put in to put on a show and then market that show. So Sarah, take us through that process.
Well, first I would have to put a poster together, and I do that a good bit of the time. Even when I don't create a poster for the actual show, a lot of the time I have to create just something that I know people will grab and like pay attention to on our sites, because sometimes the algorithms of the internet will, if there's words on something, the internet just does not love that. So if there's like 4 bands listed and a date and a pay rate to get through the door, like the internet's like, screw you, I'm gonna not show your poster to anyone. So I a lot of times will kind of take the poster and then just like reframe it. I'll take a big picture of the band or myself, and then I'll just kind of talk about it that way. So there's different marketing things that I'll do just to make sure that people are actually hearing about this show, as opposed to like, what you would think would be fine is just throwing up the poster, because that's what made sense back in the day. You walk down the street and you attack a poster onto a pole, and that's how people learned about shows. And Facebook doesn't really help us out in that way, but yet everyone's on Facebook all the time, every day. So that part is actually kind of tough and really frustrating. And you have to make an event on Facebook, and then you have to invite people, and Facebook will block you from inviting too many people. And so if you happen to see an event and you're like, wow, I think I might go to that, it really does help the artist to just RSVP and say that you might be going, because that will share that event with your friends. And otherwise, Facebook doesn't know that maybe you have thought about going to that event. And so it's really actually stressful. Like I've actually my heart rate has gone up talking about the marketing side of this, because like Facebook and Instagram, they really do not help the artist out like whatsoever. But I do think that like if more people would know how hard it is, and what little they like, all you would have to do was like just like a post. And if the post gets like more than 25 likes, the chance of it getting another 25 likes is like extremely high. But if it doesn't get 25 likes, and I'm just making that number up, but it seems to be true, it's just going to stay under 25 at all times. And this sounds super boring, because it is, but this is the stuff I have to think about. And trust me, I don't want to be thinking about it.
Right. Well, look at it this way, and you're 100% correct, but nobody really reads newspapers anymore.
Right.
I mean, there are people that do, but those people are not the same people going to shows. And you can see that by how the journalism, the newspaper industry is created, right? There are fewer newspapers because they keep closing because people don't read them.
Right.
There are fewer cities with an alternative press. So, like a second independent newspaper that will tell you when all the cool events are in town.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, not a lot of people are just out walking around and will see a show poster on a coffee shop wall or on a record store wall or on a pole and be like, I'll go to that show.
Right.
For better, actually, it's not for better. Social media is that now. Like that's, and whether we as musicians like it or not, it's in some way has to be a part of our process in order to reach people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm sorry for stressing you out because I get it. I don't like it either.
No, honestly, I think it's good, and I think it's good to let people know that, and to let them know that it actually matters. Like if you enjoy watching, different bands that you see around town, like it really, really, really helps to just go on and like their fan page on Facebook. Like it sounds super stupid, but the numbers really do matter. And again, if I wasn't so entrenched in this world, I would have no clue. So I think talking about it, should help build empathy.
A little bit. I want to tell listeners, really, if you really want to help Sarah and Hello June beyond liking their page, Hello June has a website. And when you hit that website, there'll be a little box that asks you to sign up for their mailing list so they can talk to you directly. You should do that.
That is really true. And I think I made it wait 5 seconds. So you'll be on the site for 5 seconds and then you'll see that prompt. Because I created that prompt.
Notice how Sarah is Sarah's own webmaster.
Yes, I am.
Me too. No, but like for any independent musician that you like, we'd rather talk to you without having to use social media. And the best way for us to do that is to have your email address. So consider signing up for everybody's mailing lists.
Totally. And I do throw out like coupons and stuff for merch, which in my opinion, it helps with like I know shipping costs are super annoying. Like as soon as I see, oh, it's going to be $10 in shipping, I'm like, man, that's annoying. But, so I'll throw out coupons and stuff. And usually that kind of takes care of shipping and stuff like that. So, and obviously I'll throw out when we have shows. I try to keep it. I probably should honestly send more emails than I do, but I'd say it's probably at a rate of I send about 1 per 2 months. So it's definitely not going to be spammy.
Oh, you should definitely send more than one every 2 months.
I know. I feel like I probably should.
Maybe not 3 a week.
I get afraid of being spammy. Like, I don't want to be spammy,
None of us want to be spammy.
Right.
But, and this is going back into business talk, we don't really have a better way to talk to people.
Right.
So, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm not on your mailing list yet, but I will be by the end of the evening.
That's right. See, yeah, there you go.
Because I want to know what's going on in the world of Hello June. I know you've been going back and forth to Nashville to make a record, which I'm assuming you probably want to keep all the details on that a little secret so that you can wow us all later. Is that right?
Well, I think I could probably share some details.
Please share.
Well, let's see. I'm recording with Roger Allen Nichols in Nashville, Tennessee, in Belltone Studios. Richard Dodd, who actually worked on engineering Tom Petty's Wildflowers album, and like a lot of other albums. I just use that one as an example, but like he's mastering our album. It's actually his studio that we're working in. It's entirely beautiful and inspiring to be in that studio where there's just so much history. When I'm there, I just like don't even understand how I'm having the chance to be there. Like it's just so it's just very inspiring. and I think we're gonna do about 10 songs ish. One is actually not written by me; it's a cover, and I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'm really kind of super stoked about it. It's a little sentimental, I would say. But yeah, it's like the largest body of work that we have put out for sure. And yeah, like we've started to play the songs live, and I have just been ecstatic. Like the band is super pumped about the whole process, and we're playing the songs live has just made us even more excited about the whole thing. And so I'm just ready for it to be released, and I need to be patient, but I'm not feeling very patient right now.
I get it. So that's the, I guess we could call that the near future. Let's go way back to square one. How did you first learn how to make music?
Well, my grandfather and my grandmother played guitar. My grandmother played like a lap steel, and my grandfather played mostly acoustic around me, but he played some electric as well. They would play to like nursing homes and um, different events, like just like together. They would sing. My grandmother would sing harmony with my grandfather, always sang very low and deep. And I one day was just like, I really want to learn to play guitar, and then I got obsessed with it. Not in like a I want to learn to shred way. I was actually really against like that, but I really just wanted to like find a way to like sort of find my own voice with guitar. And so I just spent so much time alone just kind of learning different chord structures and things that um, just sounded really cool to me. And so my grandfather definitely helped me start that. Like we played a bunch of old hymns and old country songs mostly. And I was deathly afraid of singing out loud. But there was one time that I sang in front of him before he passed. And, it was just something that I was just so afraid. I don't know why I was so afraid of letting people hear my voice, but it took me years to like get up the confidence to like sing out loud. So I'm like still kind of nervous about it when I when I do it, but I try to just remember that everybody feels that way with something. So it's worth it because it's super fun, and I like to express myself in that way. Like I definitely like to write songs and put them together. It's like puzzle pieces, you like I want the song to be a certain vibe, and so it's like how can I find like guitar pieces that make that vibe the way that I want it to, and how can I fit my vocals into that, and how do I write the lyrics so that people follow my storyline. And it's just a big puzzle, which is always really fun and challenging. And so I guess I guess I diverted, but I started off with my grandfather teaching me, and then I just sort of took that and ran with it. And I almost immediately just started like playing around in GarageBand with like fake beats and kind of putting the whole production together, like um, like electric guitar and bass and just fake drum beats that kind of sound real but not really, the whole nine yards. Um, yeah.
So when you sit down to write these days, what tool do you reach for first?
I usually start off with an acoustic guitar and my vocal. There will be times where I'll have something just specific in mind, like I want to write a song that kind of has like this feel to it, like and then I'll maybe have like a beat in mind to start with or something like that. So it really depends, but I feel like the majority of the time is, I'm really trying to make the core of the song come across, which is usually my vocal and my guitar. So I usually start with that, and then if I can feel like that is strong, then I move outward from there.
When you write a song, how do you know that you're finished?
Oh, that is tough. I guess when I listen to it and I'm not like, like even in the mixing stage, so you go in, you record the song, you put down your idea, and then, I'm lucky enough to work with somebody like Roger, and he's sending me back a mix, and you hear it and you're like, does this kind of complete the idea? Like, does this feel like it's coming across the way that I had imagined? And to be honest, Roger has been really good about, I guess, mind reading, because it's felt um, pretty good to like get the mixes back and be like, this is how we had kind of imagined it and communicated together and to get that product. But there have been times where you're just like, well, my mind is going to like that piece right there. Like, what's that guitar doing? Should that, and then at that point, when your mind is distracted by something, then I think that's when the song's not done. So you're just like, I've got to chase that. I've got to get that changed. Kind of see how we can modify that to make it more complete. And I think that's kind of my indicator, because like sometimes you'll just put on a mix and you'll be like, well, damn, I mean, that's good. It sounds good to me. I want to listen to it again. And if there's really if my mind's not distracted by something, that to me feels like the point that I say, okay, I'm ready to call that a good mix,
Are you the sole songwriter in Hello Jim?
Yes, but I've always kind of dragged Wit into like kind of like play, like I'll make him like play a beat for like 4 hours or something, like while I'm kind of working something out, or so Wit has definitely um really, I've leaned into like to his support a good bit, and he's really good at kind of letting me bounce some ideas off of him in like the first stages that like I feel like those are the hardest kind of so the answer is yes, but with some support.
With a little help from your friends, it sounds
exactly. Now on this new I'm sorry.
No, go.
I was gonna say, on this new one, my guitar player Brandon, he has really helped with shaping some of the newer songs. There's a song called "Cops and Robbers" that I never imagined it to be a faster song, but I threw it to him. I think we were talking about just like the vocal or something, and he actually just took it and he threw a beat behind it and threw a bunch of production on it and threw it back to me, and I like cried. I was like, this is amazing. This is so, and I would have never thought about turning it into what it was turned into. And honestly, hearing someone else like sing your song is a really cool experience. Like because he sang my song back to me. I think that was the moment that I was like, okay, this guy's a gem. I need to keep him.
I'm trying to imagine what that feels like. I don't know that one yet.
To be honest, like I wasn't expecting it, and it was like it really. I think I tweeted about it weirdly, but like I, um, like I've had people cover our songs before, and that's always really cool. But like this was like a just a weird emotional experience because it was like such a different take on a song. Like I was not expecting it whatsoever. I mean, my version is like super slow and like really drawn out and very emotional, and then he just sped it up and made it. And honestly, it's a really fun song. Like I'm really excited. Um, we've started to record it, and we're not completely done with it. We're about to go back in a couple weeks, and we're gonna finish that off. But like, it is going to be a banger. Like I'm really stoked about that one.
That's awesome. I like the enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling enthusiastic about it.
Any plans to? Well, I should rephrase. How are you managing to structure touring plans around, gestures at world craziness?
Um, well, we're just kind of taking as many precautions as we can. Trying to kind of feel things out, I guess. We're letting ourselves be open to like, if the band is sick, like we're canceling. Like we canceled. We were supposed to play a Morgantown gig. Um, I guess like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. And we canceled it because we had all basically gotten the cold that I was telling you about. At the before we started recording. But we said, you know what, it's not responsible for us to go out there and potentially get other people sick. So we're just kind of giving ourselves grace with that, even though, some people might get upset about that. I think it's just more responsible to be aware and, kind of open to things like that, which in the past it's like I've known people to just push through colds and they come to gigs so sick, and I feel like that culture is changing a little bit, thankfully, because I mean, that's not good. Like musicians should have a little bit of room to breathe there. We're happy to be back. We're definitely booking a good bit right now. We've got so many things up in the air. I can't even keep track, but just trying to be aware and, trying to stay healthy, I guess, is my best answer.
Solid answer. Who are some of your influences both on your playing and your songwriting?
I think on my playing, I would say, um, I've always kind of listened again to like, I started off with like old country. The June reference in our name is actually referring to June Carter Cash, and that my grandfather loved Johnny Cash, and that's how I discovered that entire family. So like, just I think their playing is just has to be ingrained in me, but I don't pick that out. I'm not sure that anyone else would pick that out. But I think like as I got older, I think like in college, I discovered the band Wyoke, and Jen Wasner. I watched her play guitar, and I was like, oh my god, what like she's such a good player, and she's I think probably like the first woman that I really gravitated towards in terms of playing, and so I just watched everything that I could of hers, and really fell in love with her playing, and um, how her playing kind of mixed with her vocals, and um, so I think she has had a pretty big influence on my playing, um, or just philosophically, I guess, maybe more so than anything. And I think watching people come up like Julian Baker and Courtney Barnett, which these have just been in like the recent years kind of, but um watching these women come up and be absolutely, you know, just badass with their playing and how they articulate things. You know, it's just really cool to see. And I feel like every day I'm discovering like another new woman who plays guitar, and that's just amazing. I feel like when I first started playing, I guess it was like an internet thing, like not to date myself, but like there's like there was just really not a whole lot that was coming into my, you know, my immediate system, and now it's like I'm just flooded with you know, non-male humans playing guitar and making music and being successful at this thing. And so it's like honestly really um really inspiring and really cool to kind of watch that happen, as opposed to I think I just used to feel frustrated. Like I was like, oh, like only men are being shown, or only men get slots on stages, and you know, I don't feel like that anymore, and that's really cool. Completely diverted that question, so I'm sorry about that.
No, don't apologize. I want you to talk and ramble about stuff. So if a question gets you to go talk about something else that you're interested in, then it has served its purpose.
Good. Okay. Well, that's good. I've served that purpose then.
I only have one more question, and this is not mine. I stole it from a podcasting friend of mine. What did your childhood smell like?
Wow, that's a great question. Um, well, I guess like my, you know, I refer to my grandfather kind of as, um, you know, my guitar playing world, and I guess to kind of to go back to that music room. He had like a music room in that house, and I feel like it was just kind of magical. Like it was mostly, it was a lot of room, you know, it was a lot of volume in the room. And there was, he had a twin reverb, which I feel like is, you know, completely ingrained in my soul at this point. He had a couple of old acoustic guitars, a Martin that my cousin has. He had like this super small old like student guitar that I learned on that, my God, I think the strings were the thickest I've ever felt in my life. Like, and so, you know, that guitar has a smell, the Martin has smell, the floor was like a rich red and orange thick carpet, that, you know, my grandma was always super duper clean, like everything there was spotless, but like, you know, even that had a smell. There was wood around, you know, there was an organ. It was probably from the 50s or 60s. So I think, you know, I don't know how to really, I guess there's not one I can't say it's just like, oh, it smelled like sandalwood. Like that would be easier, but it would also maybe be more boring. But like, you know, to me those things have such imagery and such meaning. And I think that a lot of people can probably put a smell maybe on those things combined. But I would say in terms of music, like, you know, that's kind of where my head goes with imagery and with the smells, I think.
Very nice. So people can catch up with you at wearehellojune.com.
Let me just like, yes, I believe it is We Are Intelligent, but I always check. It is wearehellojune.com. Yes.
And of course, you have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and you're on Twitter. And I will link to all of that stuff in the show notes. Is there anything else that you would like to promote at the moment?
I don't think so, but I will say that I'm currently working on a new batch of t-shirts and posters and koozies. So I'll be putting those out. We're playing like a couple of festivals coming up, so I'm gonna sell them at those festivals, but I'll also put the extras like online once we do that, and I'll be doing that soon. I'm really excited about it because I actually screen print my own stuff. So
Wow.
yeah, I learned how to do that during the pandemic. It's fun. It's fun now. It was not fun while I was learning because I messed up a lot and I only bought one screen, which if you're going to learn, buy two. So you don't have to wait for your screen to dry when you mess up. That's my tip for everyone.
Good advice. And truly DIY, like picking up brand new skills.
Oh my God. Yeah. This band honestly has taught me like so many skills. I basically do it every single piece of it, or have at least at some point in my life.
Which just speaks to your dedication to the craft. Like you said, and I think we all feel this way, we like the writing songs part. The rest of it, maybe not, but it has to be done.
I know. Yeah. No, and some of it's fun, like the shirt thing. I love that I learned how to do that. And it's really cool because I can, instead of like telling somebody, hey, this is kind of how I want my shirt, can you maybe do that? And they're like, no, not really. I can figure out a way to do whatever I want, which is why I like doing most things myself. The freedom to do it exactly the way I want to do it.
Nice. Thanks for spending some of your valuable time talking to me.
Absolutely, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Warm gratitude again to Sarah Rudy for talking to me tonight. I really hope to get a chance to catch her band out on the road someday when they swing through my state. Thank you, dear listener, for being here with me. Hey, why not go visit Hello June's website and sign up for their mailing list? Why not visit my website and sign up for my mailing list? We would be very happy if you did these things.